Good morning, kindergartners. Happy Monday, and welcome back to the Writing Center. It's Miss Kelly here again today, and hope you guys had a wonderful weekend and are ready to start writing again. Today, we're going to talk about who, what, where, and when. O quién, qué, dónde, cuándo in our stories. When we use who, what, where, and when in our stories, this gives the reader a lot of information about what was happening in the story and who was there. So that way they can imagine it in their heads, and it gives them lots of good ideas to think about as they're reading the story. So today, we are going to write our own story. Our story should tell who was there, what was happening, where it happened, and when. So right here, if we look at these pictures will help us. Who was in this story? It looks like in this story, it was this man with glasses, this woman, and this cat. What happened in the story? It looks like in this story, this person was swimming, and in this story, these kids were playing on the seesaw at the park. When did the story happen? Was it during the day or was it at night? Was it 1 year ago or was it yesterday? Where did the story take place? Where was it? Was it at the beach? Was it at your house? Was it at the playground? Was it at school? There are lots of different things to think about as we're writing a story. And we want to try to include who, what, when, and where, so that way the readers get a lot of information about our story. So today we're going to read a book about Piggy and Gerald. Now, let's take a look and see what happens in Piggy and Gerald.
I Broke My Trunk by Mo Willems, an Elephant and Piggy book.
I have not seen Gerald today. Why? Gerald! What happened to your trunk?
I broke my trunk.
How did you break your trunk?
It is a long, crazy story.
Tell it!
Well, I was playing with Hippo. Then I had an idea. I wanted to lift Hippo onto my trunk.
Why?
Because.
Okay.
So, I lifted Hippo onto my trunk. But a hippo on your trunk is heavy.
Is that how you broke your trunk?
No, there is more to my story. Then Rhino showed up. Rhino wanted a turn.
What did you do?
I lifted both of them onto my trunk. But a hippo and a rhino on your trunk are very heavy.
Is that how you broke your trunk?
No. There is more to my story. Then Hippo's sister showed up.
Hippo has a sister?
A big sister.
Did she want to turn too?
Yes. She also wanted to play her piano. 2 hippos, 1 rhino, and a piano on your trunk are very, very heavy.
Is that how you broke your trunk?
No.
This is a long, crazy story. Gerald, how did you break your trunk?
Well, I was so proud of what I had done that I ran to tell my very best friend about it. But I tripped and fell. Whoop! And broke my trunk.
You broke your trunk running to tell me your story? That is a crazy story. That is a funny story. I want to tell someone your crazy story.
Whoop! Piggy trips and falls. Piggy, what happened to your snout?
It is a long, crazy story.
The end.
All right, my friends, I hope you'd enjoyed that book about Piggy and Gerald. Now, remember in the story, Gerald was telling Piggy about his story, right? And he used all sorts of things. He said who, he said what, he said where, and he said when. So who was in the story? Well, there was a hippo, there was Hippo's sister, there was Piggy, there was Gerald. Where did the story happen? It looked like it might have been outside. When did it happen? Well, it happened right before Gerald went to tell Piggy the story, right? Yeah. So, in that story, we got all sorts of information, and that helped us know what was going on in the story. So, what I want you to do for our writing center today is I want for you to tell a story about a time you got hurt. So this is called My Ouch Story. So I want you to go tell your grown-up, I want you to go tell a friend, your brother, your sister, whoever's at home with you. I want you to tell a story about a time you got hurt. And I want you to try to use who, what, where, and when. So real fast, I'm going to tell you a story. So one day, about a month ago, I was at the lake with my friend. And here I drew a picture. Here's the lake. Here's my friend. Me and my friend were at the lake 1 month ago. And I was walking into the lake, and there were a bunch of really sharp rocks on the bottom of the lake, but I couldn't see them because the water was covering them up. So I walked into the lake, and my toe got cut on one of the rocks. And it really hurt too. So that's my ouch story. So in my ouch story, I used who. I said it was me and my friend. I used what. I cut my toe. That's what happened in the story. Where did it happen? At the lake. When did it happen? And I said 1 month ago it happened. So I gave you guys all sorts of information. So what I want you to do is I want you to go tell someone a story about the time you got hurt. And then you can draw a picture about it. And I want you to try to write sentences, or you can try to use labels to label the who, what, where, and when. So if you want to put me right here and a friend right here, I want you to try to give as much information and try to use some words and some labels. Okay? All right. In Spanish, en español, dime una historia sobre una vez que te lastimaste. Usa quién, qué, dónde, y cuándo. Okay? All right, my friends, if you have any questions, feel free to ask me. And I hope you guys have fun writing. Bye!